friends, welcome back to our channel. So in today's session we'll go with one more property in CSS, that is a margin and padding. Okay, so first we'll see the margin property and then we'll go with the padding property. So margins. So slight difference between the margin property and the padding property. So coming to the margin property, this property will be used with the help of the property name called margin. Okay, margin hyphen, and here we can give four values or a single value. So here we have to give the value in terms of pixels or a parameter, a percentage, pixels or a percentage, right? So if example, if you go with a margin colon some 20 pixels, pixel should be represented as px. Okay, so here margin with respect to browser window, with respect to the browser. Okay, so if this is the browser, if this one is a browser, okay, this is right, so this is a browser and this margin is called top margin and this margin is called bottom margin and this margin is a left margin and this margin is a right margin. So for a margin we can apply the four values. For margin we can apply four values: top, bottom, left, right. Okay, so that we can apply as margin hyphen top colon pixels. Okay, next margin hyphen right column. Okay, and then margin hyphen bottom. Similarly margin hyphen left. So here we are having some four values. We can give four different values. So commonly if we can give a single value, so if we give a single value, then this value will be applied for all four sides. Okay, so the top margin 20 pixels, right margin 20 pixel, bottom margin 20 pixel, and the left margin 20 pixels. So the same pixel, the same margin will be applied for all the sides. And if you are giving two values, if you are giving some two values 20 pixel and 40 pixel, okay, this 20 pixel, the first value will be applied for top margin and the bottom margin. Okay, so the same 20 pixel will be applied for both the top margin and bottom margin, and the second one will be applied for the left margin and right margin. The second pixel, that means the second value, will be applied for both the left margin and the right margin. And if you give here some three values, so margin some 20 pixel, 40 pixel and some 60 pixel. Okay, if you give like this 20, 40, 60, the first value represents the top margin, the third value represents the left and right margins, and the fourth value represents the bottom margin. Okay, so like this we can apply the margins. So four values, we can give four values, or we can give the three values, we can give the two values, or we can also give the single value to apply the margin. And one thing you have to remember, the margin is with respect to the browser. The margin here is with respect to the browser. So you need not worry, I will execute all these things, all the categories, and I will show you the example. Okay, so this is all about our margin, and we can also combine all these things using a shorthand property. That shorthand property we call it as margin colon. Here we have to give all the four values, or two values or three values, whatever it may be, by a space separated. See, some 40 pixel space 20 pixel space 50 pixel space 60 pixel. So this is a common single line property, okay, single line margin, okay, shorthand property. We are specifying the all four margins in a single line by using the margin property. So here we have to follow the order. The first one is the top margin, second one is the right margin, third one is the bottom, and fourth one is the left margin. Okay, so this is the first, second, third, and this is the fourth one. So like this we have to apply the margins. And coming to the next one, so I will show you the example. Okay, I will show you the example by taking all the different values, no problem. And the next one is padding. The next one is padding. Padding. So padding is also similar to the margin, but here the padding is with respect to border. So if our text consists of any border, okay, if our text consists of any border, then the margins will be applied for that particular border. For example, here also the value should be given in terms of pixels itself. So let us take the same thing, padding, and if you apply the border here for this padding, okay, so this margin with respect to the border, this margin is called as a padding. So this is called a top padding, this is a right padding, and this is the bottom, and this is the left padding. So like this we can apply the padding. That means that's the only difference. Padding means applying the margins with respect to the border. So if any border is applied for the text, for that border we can apply the padding. Okay, so here also the same thing. Here also we are having some 4 different values. That is a padding top, padding right, padding bottom, padding left. So this is nothing but our padding property, and all the it's complete, remaining everything is similar when compared to the margin. So here also the padding can accept 4 values or 3 values or 2 values or 1 value. If you give the 1 value, it will be applied for all the margins, I mean all the sides. And if you give the 2 values, the first one will represent the top and bottom, and the second value represents the left and right. And if you give the 3 values, the first one represents the top, the second one represents the left and right, and the third one represents the bottom. And if you give the 4 values, so individually for all the 4 sides we are giving some 4 padding borders, 4 padding margins, right? So this is how we can implement the padding. So instead of using the margin, we have to give the word as padding. Okay, so here also similar to our margin, padding is also having the shorthand property. So instead of using the margin, we have to go with the padding, word padding, and we have to give the 4 values separated with a comma, so that we have to follow the order. The first one is the top, the second one is the right, the third one is the bottom, and the fourth one is the left. Right? So remaining value is same, remaining everything is same, just replacing the margin with the padding word. That's it. But the main difference is margin is with respect to the window, and I mean browser window, and padding is with respect to the border of the text. So hope you understood. So this is the window. This is the window. Okay. So let us take. This is the window. So this is a margin. And if you consider any border, and if you consider any value A, B, C, D, so with respect to this is a padding. Okay, inside the border it's a padding. Inside the border it's a padding. Okay, so this is how we can use the padding and margin properties in CSS. Right. So for this implementation, we'll go with the internal CSS and we'll write some HTML code and we'll execute each and everything. So applying the margin top, bottom, right, left. Similarly, padding also top, right, bottom, left. Okay, so we'll see by executing simple HTML code. So let us move on to the computer, and I will show you the demonstration. Right. Hello friends. So just now we have seen regarding the margins and padding in CSS. So we'll see the implementation of both the things, both the properties. So we'll write the code. So we'll write the some HTML code. So in that we'll use some internal CSS. So if you go with the internal CSS, we have to write with the style tag. So here I will go with the directly I'm using the tag. Okay, and here we can apply the margin some 50 pixels. So we have to give the margin as in terms of pixels or a percentage. So I'll give in a pixels, and I'm closing the style, and then I'm going closing the header. Okay, and also I'm opening the body, and here we in h1 tag we have to write the content. So welcome to some margins. Okay, and I'm closing the h1, and I'm closing the body, and I'm closing the HTML. So we have to save this one by using .html. I will save this one with the .html. Okay, on the desktop. So here you can observe. So by double clicking it, so it will be executed. So you can observe here some 50 pixels of margin has been given for the top, left, right, and bottom. So we may not see the left margin and the right margin. I mean bottom margin, right margin and bottom margin. But you can observe the left margin and the top margin. So we can change. So here the margin is also having the four values. One is the top, right, bottom, and left. So instead of giving a one value, we can go with the margin top. It's a 50 pixel. Okay, semicolon. So we have to differentiate with the semicolon, right? And I will go with the margin bottom. So here we are not we are unable to find this bottom margin. I will show after applying the border. Okay, after applying the border, I will show you. And see margin, sorry, top, here whatever it means, no problem. Left, okay, or right margin. So right margin I also am giving some 50 pixels and semicolon, and finally I'm giving some top, left margin. So margin left. Okay, left also I will give some 50 pixels. So I'm closing here, and let us observe. So we can only observe here the top and left, top and left. Sorry, I have closed here itself. Now you can observe top and left we can observe, but we may not see the right side and the bottom margin. And if you apply the border, you can see. So I will show you. I will apply some border for this one, and I will show you. So border style colon solid semicolon. So you can observe. See, if you observe the border, you can apply. So this is a 50 pixel, and here also this is a 50 pixel, and bottom we can't image because there is a lot of space here, right? And again, if you change this one, so I will change the right margin to 500, right margin to 500, so that it will left 500 pixels from the right side. So you can observe this is the 500 pixels difference. Okay, and also here from left also I will go with the 500 change. Okay, 500 pixels, and if you observe here, so this is okay. We'll go with the 400 and 400, so that it will be coming into the center. Oh, yeah. Okay, and the top, so we can also go with the top. So if you go with the 500, so it will give the 500 pixels difference. Okay, and yeah, here you can observe. Okay, so this is how we can apply the margin. So applying the margin means difference, I mean leaving that many pixels from the top or left or right or bottom. Okay, and there is a one more shorthand property. Instead of writing all these things, we can write in a single line. So I will apply for the h2. So h2 margin. So here we can give the complete lines. So we have to follow the order. The first one is the top. So I will go with the 50 pixels, and the second one space. Give the space, not the semicolon. 50 pixels. Next one is a right margin. That's again I will go with the 500 pixels. Okay, and space. Next one, that is left margin, oh sorry, bottom margin again we will go with the 50 pixels, and the left margin I will go with the 100 pixels. Okay, and apply the this one, close the thing, and you can apply the border so that we can identify easily. Okay, so border hyphen style colon solid. See, now we can apply, and we'll write some h2. Here we have not written any h2, but here we will write h2. So shorthand property of margin, right? So I'm writing shorthand property of the margin. Now we'll check. So if you execute this one, you got like this, right? From the top you have given some 50 pixels. Okay, see, here we have given some the first one. We'll check once we check some 100 pixels. So it was taking some 100 pixels from the this one. Okay, so already, so you can observe here, already the top margin was 250 pixels. From that 250th pixel it will take the 100 pixels. Okay, from that 250th pixel it will take the 100 pixels. And if you remove this one, if you remove this one, you can observe, see, it went to here. The top margin is around 100 pixels. Okay, so previously we are taking some h1 as a 250 pixels margin top. So already this was at 250th pixel, right? So the margin is 250. From there the second property, I mean the second tag is having 100 pixels. So that means from the top it is around 350 pixels. Okay, hope you understood this one. So previously we are having some 250 and now we are applying 100. So total 350 pixel margin will be taken from for the top. So similarly the left and right on bottom. Okay, so this is how we can apply the margins. And here you can observe the first one is a, I mean if you are giving the four values, the first value is the top pixel. If you are giving the second value will be considering as a right, the third value will be bottom, and the fourth value will be left. And if you are giving only three values, the first value will be representing the top, and the second value will be representing the left and right, and the third value representing the bottom. And if you are giving only two values, the first value represents the top and bottom, and the second value represents the left and right. And if you are giving only one value, all the margins will be applied with the same value. All the four sides will be applied with the same value, right? So hope you understood this one. And now we'll see the padding. So padding means if you apply the border, inside the border the margins. Okay, see, if you can observe here. So we have executed the same thing, right? So we are having this thing. So we'll take some uh, right parameter. So I'll go with the 500 pixels right parameter. So this is the thing we have taken, and now we'll apply the padding so that the margins will be inside the border. The margins will be inside the border. Okay, now so padding will be also having in the four styles. So first of all, we go with the padding, go with the, here also we'll go with the pixels. If you go with the 40 pixels, all the sides will be applied with the 40 pixels. You can observe, see, all the sides will be applied with the 40 pixels. And you can change here from 700, right? So 40 pixels will be applied. And then you can see, if you go with the two values, so some 100 pixels, if you go with the two values, the first value will be for the top and bottom, second value will be the left and right. You can observe here, see, the second value is the left and right, and the first value will be the top and bottom. Okay, top and bottom. And then here we'll see this one. Okay, and if you go with the three values, say some uh, 50 pixels. Okay, so the first value will, see, yeah, the first value will be the top, the second value will be the left and right, and the fourth value will be, the third value will be the bottom. So that's why we are getting some 100 pixels difference. Okay, so Padding means applying the margins inside the border. Okay, and if you go with the four values, see some 30 pixels. Now the first value represents the top, second value represents the left or right, the third value represents the bottom, and the fourth value represents the left. So you can observe here. If you execute this one, see, this is the way we can apply the padding. Or simply we can go with the four different styles: padding hyphen top, padding hyphen left. So here we can give padding hyphen top and put the semicolon, press the enter, and go with the right, padding hyphen right, and put the semicolon, and padding hyphen bottom 100 pixels, and put the semicolon, and go with the fourth one, padding hyphen left hyphen, right? So like this we can also divide the properties, like this we can also divide the properties. So bottom also 50, so we can observe here. Okay, top, bottom, top, right, bottom, and left. Okay, so this is how we can apply the padding. So margin means it will based upon the window, and padding means based upon the border. So that's what we have to remember. Okay, hope you understood this one. So if you are having any doubts regarding this margin or padding, feel free to post your doubts in the comment section, so that definitely I will try to clarify all your doubts. And if you really understood my session, like my session, share my session with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.